Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today for the Lytham Partners Winter 2021 Investor Conference. My name is Joe Dorame, Managing Partner of Lytham Partners. We welcome OpSens Inc., ticker symbol OPS on the TSX and OPSSF on the OTC. Joining us from the company today for the Fireside Chat is Laflamme, Chief Executive Officer. Before we begin, Lytham Partners is one of the country's leading investor relations firm. With more than 2 decades of experience, we have built one of the industry's most effective platforms for connecting small cap companies with high quality institutional investors. Hopefully today's event is another example of how we can add value. As a reminder, Louis will be available for one-on-one virtual meetings. If you'd like to sign up, please visit lythampartners.com/virtual and click the one-on-one meeting request button. With that said, let's begin. Louis, tell us about your background and provide us a brief overview on the company.
Thank you, Joe, and thanks for the invitation and participating to this interesting conference. So myself, I'm a CPA from an academic background. I joined OpSens in 2005 as the CFO, and 7 years after, I got the role of President and CEO. So I've been fairly lucky in having the opportunity to work with a fantastic group of people. At OpSens, the company was funded based on a fiber optic sensing technology. So it means that with light, we can measure parameters, and we've been applying this to the medical device field and more specifically to the interventional cardiology. So today, we have 3 components in our medical device platform. So there is what we call business partnerships, where we are selling our sensing technology to medical device corporation that will integrate our sensor into their product. In that field, we have high-profile customers such as Abiomed that is integrating our sensing technology into the Impella. Also, a company called Monteris in the brain trauma treatment that is using our temperature sensing technology. OEM business is great, but at some point we felt we could do more. So we did a market survey to understand where we could apply our technology to really make a difference for patients, for doctors. And we found the coronary artery disease. So for a procedure called fractional flow reserve, where the cardiologists need to decide if they should implement a stent or not, there is clinical data that is supporting the use of pressure measurement to do that. So we developed and are commercializing right now what we think is the most advanced pressure guidewire in the field. So this wire is supporting doctors in making the right decisions. And the third component of our medical platform is that, again, OpSens is having very unique core competencies in terms of using fiber optic, the most advanced fiber optic sensing technology in the world. Also, the capability to develop small devices that can integrate sensing technology and other features. So we found another very unique opportunity where we are developing right now a pressure guidewire for TAVR, which is one of the highest growth area in cardiology. And we are coming with a new concept that do not exist in the field today, where with our pressure guidewire, we'll be able to do heart stimulation, to deliver the aortic valve, while at the same time presenting in real time the hemodynamic information to the physician, so the pressure gradient to cardiologists. So I think this is a very strong platform. See even other development opportunities in the future. But right now, just with the addressable market that we have, we feel that we can significantly increase the revenues of the company. Last year, we had $34.5 million in revenues, and we are having a plan that should bring us to $100 million in sales by the end of fiscal year 2025.
That's a great overview. So that kind of leads me to the next question. What gets you excited about OpSens, and what drives you to be successful?
Well, we are very excited about the difference we are making for patients. I mean, our fiber optic sensing technology is a very accurate sensing technology. So we think that we are supporting the doctors in coronary artery disease to make the right decisions for the patient, and also to be very efficient in their procedure. So since fiber optic is small, we could develop a device that is very efficient from a mechanical standpoint. So it means that it's easier to reach the blockage to be measured. It's also easier to deliver a stent over this device. So excited about the contribution that we do on the field today. Also very excited about coming with a product that could change the TAVR procedure or the TAVR workflow in the future. So OpSens, we have the chance of having very unique core competencies. The trend in the world and in the medical device field is going in the direction of fiber optic. So we feel we are very well positioned for the future.
That's great. And that kind of just leads into the next question again. You know, can you talk about some of those innovations and trends around coronary artery disease, what your company brings to the table that others cannot, and why medical professionals are choosing to use OpSens?
Well, again, in our life, fiber optic is more and more present. It's no different in the medical device field in interventional cardiology. So what we are bringing to with our technology to this field is, I mean, cardiologists, they want to have an efficient workflow. So we need to bring device that can that can perform the procedure in a very efficient manner. In coronary artery disease, we can do what we call one wire PCI. So it means we can do the full procedure only with one wire, which is the procedure, the workflow for cardiologists and ultimately for patient. In TAVR, we are also going to come for this product with a concept where we could minimize the number of exchanges of devices, the number of ancillary devices that are being used. So we think this is a great contribution to the field. And this is the projects that are known today that are well advanced at OpSens. Behind this, we are seeing multiple other opportunities where fiber optic could make the difference. So we need to be selective about the projects that we are working on. We need to have a focused approach. But the interesting thing is that each time we are talking with doctors, they are seeing other opportunities for us. And we intend to develop other game-changing products in the future.
Okay. What are the keys to turn OpSens into a big, rapidly growing business?
Well, it's all about execution, because clearly the market opportunities in front of us are massive. And we think we have the right products. So we've been investing in the execution of OpSens. So the last financial raise that we did, the use of proceeds on this was to devote more resources to sales and marketing and more resources to R&D. So on the R&D side, the idea is to be able to bring faster innovation to the market. And in terms of sales and marketing, it's just the fact that, again, we think we have the best product for coronary artery disease assessment. We had a small sales force. We are now growing this sales force to be able to capitalize on this existing opportunity for our product. And also, we want to be ready to fully capitalize on the TAVR opportunity, where, again, we are going to come with a new concept. We expect to get the FDA approval somewhere at the end of the summer or at the beginning of fall 2022. And since the size of this market, since the quality of our concept, we really need to be ready to capitalize from a sales standpoint on this opportunity. On top of this, behind this, we are seeing potential value creation with doing clinical investment. The Savvy Wire for TAVR is a new concept, and we think it's the potential value proposition of that is strong, and we need to support this with data. So once the product is approved, we have the intention to work with multiple key opinion leaders in the field to make sure that we fully demonstrate the value proposition of the Savvy Wire to be able to capture a significant market share in the field.
Okay, since we've talked a little bit about regulatory approval here in the summer, can you walk us through a little bit more in detail on your commercial efforts for the Savvy Wire?
Well, the Savvy Wire, one reason why it has been selected is that, well, obviously it's a great market opportunity, but what's also interesting with the existing platform of OpSens is that we are talking about almost the same cath labs, the same doctors. The match is not 100%, but still it's very, very close to our current customer base. So everything we do, okay, to develop the business right now in coronary artery disease, so improve execution, developing relationship with purchasing group, and adding a second product to our portfolio will make us more efficient, more relevant for customers and doctors and GPOs.
Okay, can you walk us through, in a little bit more detail, the competitive advantages of the Savvy Wire?
Well, today, okay, to deliver TAVR, to deliver aortic valves, there is some wires that are existing, and they can successfully deliver the valve. In our case, okay, our wire will be able to do this, but at the same time, we will have the approval, the indication for rapid pacing. So it means that we will be able to do heart stimulation and consequently potentially eliminate the use of other equipment, which means additional insertion, additional exchanges of device. On top of this, our wire is going to have our very unique Fidela sensor. So this sensor is going to be able to present in real time the pressure gradient information to physician. And since, okay, the Savvy Wire is going to work in combination with the OptoWire that we are using today in coronary artery disease, we'll also be able to display various information live to physician. And just an example is that once the Savvy Wire is operational, is commercial, we'll be able to present, compare graph of pressure measurement. So the physician will be able to show to patient to see for himself the pressure gradient before the valve implementation and the pressure gradient after. And this information will be really, really accurate. While today, okay, to assess if the valve is properly positioned and so on, they may use echography that has some downfall. Either if you do this over the thoracic cage, the accuracy is not really good, so the quality of the information is inferior to us. They may also use some echography where they will bring the echo inside the stomach. In that case, there is some negative effect on the patient, potential bleeding, again, additional exchanges of device. So we think we can somehow decrease the needs of those devices, streamline the procedure, and really provide value-added information to the physicians.
That's fantastic. How do you see the TAVR market opportunity in terms of procedures and potential market share for OpSens?
Today, there is probably something like 250,000 procedure worldwide. OpSens has the capability to grab significant market share. It's difficult to give a figure, but what we gave publicly as information is that we think that in 2025 we'll achieve at least $40 million in revenue with the SavvyWire. So we'll see. It could be much more significant than this, but just that would bring the company at a completely new level from a revenue standpoint, and we think that the value creation for shareholders will be substantial, because on top of the revenues that will be generated by the SavvyWire, we feel that this product will be very strategic, because there is a possibility at some point to do some partnership. The valve manufacturers could have a benefit in having a preferred relationship with OpSens, because this tool may help them to gain market share in the valve component, which is approximately 50% of the value of the TAVR market. So we think for OpSens shareholders, the value of the SavvyWire will be really substantial based on the revenues, the cash flow that will generate, the gross margin, but also the strategic value in the field.
Okay, changing gears a little bit. There's been a lot of items in the news about supply chain issues. What are you doing to mitigate any supply chain issues for OpSens?
Well, obviously, in this COVID world, supply chain is something that needs to be looked at. In our case, we've been developing a long-term relationship with various partners, and OpSens in general, the company was founded initially with the first customer being a Japanese company. They are still a key partner of OpSens today. In the industrial business that we have, where we are also using our fiber optic sensing technology, again, in that case, we've been doing business with some partners for a long-term basis. So I think our strategy is, well, suppliers of OpSens, they appreciate to do business with us. We are a good partner with a long-term vision. In addition to having good partners, obviously, it's important to validate different suppliers for some components that are critical to us. And the third component is really to be transparent with our partners regarding the growth plan, because OpSens is a growth company. We expect to almost triple the revenues by 2025. So in that context, we need to make sure that our suppliers are ready, they have the information to be able to fully capitalize on the opportunities that is there for us, but also for our suppliers.
Okay. Turning to your industrial business, talk about the importance of being part of the global ITER nuclear project. How was a company's fiber optic sensing technology chosen for this important project?
It's a great recognition for the quality of our team, the quality of our technology. So again, in the industrial subsidiary that we have, a wholly owned subsidiary called OpSens Solution, we are using our fiber optic sensing technology to meet different unmet needs. In the case of the ITER project, it's the largest research project in the nuclear industry in the world. And there was a need to have some very accurate pressure measurement. And OpSens has been selected to do that in the context where our fiber optic sensing technology is not affected by any electromagnetic interference. So we got a few contracts so far on this, and we are seeing potential additional orders in the future.
Okay. What other applications are you pursuing for your fiber optic sensing technology that could become future growth drivers for the company?
Well, in this industrial business, there is various different applications that we are working on. One that is clearly one of the most important is that we think in the aerospace world, there is a clear need of having fiber optic sensing technology being used for fuel monitoring. So we have a project that we work with a partner in Spain, where we are doing all the steps to bring our sensing technology into this application. And that's an application that would be, again, we think a contribution for the world, because today they are using some electrical device that can generate some risk when you bring electrical sensor close to fuel, and to prevent, again, this risk, they need to protect those sensors, which is adding weight on the airplane. And obviously, in the world of aerospace right now, the goal is to try to decrease as much as possible the weight of the airplane to reduce the gas consumption. So we think our fiber optic sensing technology there is a great solution that will provide improved safety, and that will also provide some benefits from a usability standpoint.
That's great. As we look out, what are the key milestone investors should be looking for in 2022? And if we sit here 12 months from now, what are the biggest risks to achieving those goals?
Yeah, so in terms of milestone, first, in the deployment of our sales and marketing activities in US for coronary artery disease, we've been developing relationship with purchasing group. So we do expect to sign additional contracts with the purchasing group, which will help us to have a broader access to the US market. In addition to this, obviously, getting the approval on the guidewire will be, a key milestone for us. In addition, you could expect to see, additional, material order in the nuclear industry or in the fuel monitoring. So with the industrial business, we also expect to generate growth. Q1 is a quarter, that has been completed on November 30. We'll release our results in January. That's a quarter that was affected by COVID and other, some challenges around the supply chain. This being said, when we look at the full year 2022, we expect to record significant growth with improvement on the gross margin, improvement in revenues in all of our different revenue generator product.
Okay. Anything else you want to say before we end the discussion today?
Well, I think when we summarize about OpSens, we are a company with a long-term view. We've been, working very hard to have a very robust technology, very robust products. We are now at the moment where we can be more aggressive in capitalizing from a revenue market share standpoint in the US markets, but also in markets all over the world. So we think we have a very strong foundation, fantastic opportunities in front of us to create value for shareholders, and we are ready to execute on this.
Great, fantastic. Louis, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate it. Again, if you'd like to sign up for a one-on-one meeting with OpSens, please visit lythampartners.com/virtual and click the one-on-one meeting request button. We wish you all a good day and enjoy the conference.